Hello, I'm Roy Frampton, and I'm standing here in the Gettysburg National Cemetery. And this time I am standing in the New Jersey section. The grave I am standing at is of an artillery soldier, a private. He is in Clark's New Jersey Battery. His name is Richard Price. And Clark's New Jersey Battery, Battery B, is positioned in the Peach Orchard area on the afternoon of the second day. Now, they actually get shifted around quite a bit in that Peach Orchard area. The battery, though, has the distinction of firing more artillery rounds than any battery on the battlefield. 1,342 rounds. That averages out to about 4 shots a minute from the guns in the battery. That's an awful lot of fire. So, take your mind briefly back to the action of the second day of July at the Peach Orchard. Confederate troops are attacking from two directions. Mississippi boys, the Barksdale's men, Kershaw's men coming up. The battery is in constant firing. Canister, double canister. One account says that the guns were like dogs, wild dogs, flaming with fire. Splinters are flying everywhere. The battery is in massive artillery fire. They use up all their ammunition. So they're about ready to be overwhelmed. They start hooking up their guns to the limbers to get the battery out. And then a Confederate gun appears on the top of the hill at the Peach Orchard at the Wentz house. One single Confederate cannon. And it fires double canister into Clark's battery. 6 horses in one group of guns goes down, 4 horses in the other group. And this young man, Richard Price, is hit by several rounds of canister. He will be put on top of one of the limber carriages and taken to the rear, taken to a hospital. His left arm will be amputated, and both of his legs will be amputated. So this is a poor guy that's going to suffer tremendously. Now, if you know anything else about the battle, what happened after the battle was over? It rained. It just poured. Richard Price is at a hospital down on Rock Creek, and the creek starts to rise with the rain. The account says that Price, he has no legs, he only has one arm, that he pulls himself away from the rising creek, and he actually pulls himself into the branches of a dogwood tree. And he's hanging on as the water is rising. And he yells over to one of his buddies, Billy, they talk about Napoleon climbing the Alps. Why isn't there a marker for Dick Price climbing the dogwood? With his sense of humor. He would die of his wounds on August 22nd, actually at Camp Letterman Hospital, east of town. He was originally buried there in the cemetery at Camp Letterman. And then, of course, his body is transferred here later to the New Jersey plot. Richard Price. But I want to jump ahead now several years. On July 2nd, 1886, his father, Henry Price, and a New Jersey group of veterans come to Gettysburg to tour the battlefield. They come to this spot, to Henry Price's son's grave. And the account, and I really need to read it to get the full impact of it. As we stood by our comrade's grave, we all praised his boy's pleasant ways, his kind disposition, his brave deeds. His father listened to all, but his breast heaved, and he explained, my boy, oh God, why did you take my boy? He was all that I had. And sobbed as a man does when he is in great mental anguish. The veterans and the wives that were in the group tried to comfort him, but to no avail. He just stood here, maybe even prostrate on the graveside, crying for his son. And then one of the women spoke up and said, Uncle Henry, look at that flag. And she pointed to the flagpole, which was off in the distance, which unfortunately you can't see today because there's too many trees off here to your left. but she points to the flagpole and the flag. It was sunrise, and the Star-Spangled Banner was slowly unfolding from the flagstaff of the cemetery. Continuing, she said to Richard Price's father, "Your boy died for that flag, and while this nation endures, his deeds will never be forgotten. When you and I are dead, patriots standing where we are now will remember his name and fame." That's why we are battlefield guides. We are here to remember these men, these boys, what they did, so that flag can fly free. God bless you. I am Roy Frampton.